What's good, Texans fans, coming off a heartbreaking loss to our division rival, the Indianapolis Colts? I have 5 burning questions surrounding your Houston Texans. But first, I want to gauge the audience. I want to see how you're feeling. 0-2. We've been here before. We've been 0-3 and still made the playoffs. But I want to know from you, how many games will the Texans win this season? Your predictions in there. I want to see who's still rocking with the Houston Texans, what your thoughts are. How many games do you think the Texans are going to win this season? Go down in the comments right now. I'll be looking. I'll be interacting with y'all. Get down and let me know. So the first burning question I have, is C.J. Stroud playing the best out of all the rookie quarterbacks, considering the circumstances? And my answer to this would be yes. I think so. I mean, look at his stats against the Colts. 30 of 47, 384 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he had 6 sacks from that battered and bruised offensive line. But the biggest thing I've seen is this kid doesn't have any quit in him. You know, he's shown a lot of poise. He's shown a lot of leadership for a young player in the NFL. And you can see it from what he said in his post-game comments after the Colts game. He said, you know, I'm trying to fight my tail off just to be able to play because my shoulder was hurting me. But at the end of the day, I wanted to be out there for my guys, and I wanted to play. I had a little pain here and there, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to play because I had the opportunity from God just to be in a great city like Houston. Facts. I wanted to play in the home opener and try to flip this thing around the right way by playing well. Yeah, it was ups and downs, but I feel like my guys around me made me more positive as the week went on. They were telling me, man, if it happens, it happens. If not, just do whatever you can to do whatever you can to do to not to play if you're not feeling well. So I decided to play, and I feel like I did okay. Of course, you always want to be better. And I mean, you love to see it. He really is invested in this city. He's really invested for this team and turning around this franchise. And that's all you can ask out of your young quarterback. Try to get better every day and really invest yourself in the culture and try to ingrain yourself within this team. And I think he's doing that better than any young quarterback out there. I think, you know, with what C.J. Stroud is bringing to this team is leadership. I know he's young, but he's bringing leadership, and that's what this team has desperately needed the past 2 seasons. So to my next question, I would be spamming CJ7 all day long. I would just CJ7, 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 because I truly do believe C.J. Stroud is the guy to turn this franchise around. Maybe not this season, maybe not next, but I really do believe he can become one of those upper echelon quarterbacks that we talk about in the next 2 to 3 years in that category with the top guys. I'm spamming my CJ7, but I want to hear from you folks at home. If you agree with me, spam CJ7 down below. If not, all good. All good. I'm here for the debate. I'm here for the dialogue. Just let me know why you don't think he's the guy down below. I'll be looking, and I want to get some debates going down in the comment section, so be real with me down below. My next burning question is, are the Texans the most injured team in football right now? It sure seems that way because it seems like every single week throughout the preseason, week 1, week 2, another top guy for this team is just going down. I mean, here are the key inactives against the Colts. 3 captains, Laremy Tunsil, Jalen Pitre, Jimmie Ward, all inactive against the Colts. Mike Boone, the 3rd running back, also not available for that division rivalry game. And these injuries are just brutal. I mean, you look, like I said earlier, the Texans' offensive line is being held together by Band-Aids at the moment. And, you know, this whole team, especially with a brand new coaching staff, brand new regime, all new players coming in, it's really been a setback, I think, for DeMeco Ryans and this whole Texans team that they just can't get their guys out there. You can't really see what you have if they're not playing. So I just really hope week 2, week 3, week 4, or week 3, week 4, week 5, the Texans are able to get some of these guys back on the field and we can see the full picture because so far we've seen what C.J. Stroud can do. We've seen what a couple of these other guys can do, but it's not the full picture. It's not with everybody on the team, the whole vision that Caserio and Ryans had at the beginning of the year. It's just not it because those guys aren't out there. They're not. But I want to talk to you man to man, man to woman, man to whoever is out there listening. I don't know if this goes across the universe. Maybe there's an alien watching. Maybe they're down in Mexico. I don't know. But my boss has told me, hey, if we get to 5K this week, 5,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a Texans watch party on Sunday. We are 17 subscribers away at the moment. I want to do this for the city of H-Town. I want to do it for all the Texans fans out there that love Texans content, that love Texans watch parties. I want to do it for you folks at home, but I need your help. I can't do it all by myself. I need 17 of you to hit that subscribe button right now. And then if that happens, we're having a Texans watch party this Sunday against the Jaguars. My next burning question is, will the Texans offensive line ever all be healthy together and play? Because this past week, only one Texan who was supposed to start in preseason, that's Shaq Mason, actually started for the Texans this past week. And it's crazy. 4 out of 5 guys who were starting in the preseason were not on the field against the Indianapolis Colts. You had Josh Jones slide over for Laremy Tunsil, who was a late inactive for this team. And then you had Kendrick Green slot in there at left guard, Jarrett Patterson at center, George Fant is at right tackle. I mean, this whole O-line is just shaken up. It's like you can't catch a break. I mean, Juice Scruggs, Titus Howard on short-term IR. They're not back till week 5. But this is not what DeMeco Ryans envisioned whenever he took over this team. The Texans O-line was looking like they might be one of the best in the NFL. But, like I said, injuries have derailed this depth chart a ton throughout the first 2 weeks. And I just hope once we get Scruggs back, once we get Howard back, we can see some semblance of what DeMeco Ryans wanted with this Texans offensive line. I'll get some more burning questions in just a moment, but got to show love to our sponsor, BetUS. They're giving you the absolute best deal on the internet. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125, they're going to give you a 125% deposit bonus. Now, what does that mean? That means if you put in $100, they're going to give you $125 for free to bet with. Let me say that again, for free to bet with. So you can bet on college football, NBA coming up, Major League Baseball. It's about to be the postseason. NFL, you can bet on your Texans. You can bet on Will Anderson, Rookie of the Year, CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year. They have everything you need to bet on. All you got to do, chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125 to get started today. Next up on my Texans burning questions, and this is something after kind of rewatching the tape, rewatching the game, kind of evaluating what I see on this Texans defense. It seems to me the biggest problem is pass coverage, and especially with the linebackers. I mean, the Colts had their backup quarterback, Gardner Minshew, which, don't get me wrong, Gardner Minshew, probably one of the best backups in the NFL, but he sliced and diced the Texans all day yesterday. 19-23, 171 yards, and a touchdown for Gardner Minshew. And I just couldn't help but notice a lot of drag routes, a lot of underneath routes where linebackers were in coverage. And don't get me wrong, Denzel Perryman, he's a thumper. He's a guy that's going to stop the run up the middle. But in pass coverage, he's a little bit of a liability, in my opinion. Henry To'oTo'o, the rookie out of Alabama, started his first game in week 2. And then Christian Harris, he's okay in pass coverage. But we go back to the preseason. Blake Cashman was starting as the strong linebacker. And a lot of the reason for that was in the preseason, in training camp, he looked great in pass coverage as a linebacker. Now, he's getting back healthy from a hamstring injury, so I wonder if he's going to rotate in more and more in passing situations. But this linebacking room, as of right now, is not able to cover. They're not able to get guys out of the backfield, tight ends. It's a mismatch whenever they're up against our linebackers, and it's a problem. I saw it against the Colts, and it needs to be fixed. Head coach DeMeco Ryans, DC Matt Burke, they need to come up with a different solution to this, because you can't have it where your linebackers are getting burned over and over again on underneath routes and routes over the middle, because that's what the Colts did all day on Sunday. It was their bread and butter, and that was the reason, one of the reasons, in my opinion, why the Texans lost that game against the Colts. But this is the show for the people. It's not called Jeremy Sports, folks. It's called Chat Sports, because I want to chat with you down in the comment section. I care what you have to say. I want to get the debates going. I want to get people thinking. I want to get the back and forth conversation flowing. So let me know, what do you think is the biggest problem with this Texans defense? Obviously, they're not perfect. They gave up 31 points against the Colts. And the Colts aren't a high-flying, amazing offensive attack. So what do you think is the biggest problem for this Texans defense? What do they need to fix? I'll be looking down in the comment section. My next Texans burning question, is it just the O-line, or is this Texans run game cheeks? I said it, cheeks. because Dameon Pierce, one of my best friends, drafted him in fantasy, and he is regretting that heavily going into week 3. I mean, look at these stats. This isn't one game, folks. This is in 2 games for Dameon Pierce. 26 carries, 69 yards. Nice. I mean, I guess not nice. Only 1 first down run for Dameon Pierce and no touchdowns for the second-year player out of Florida. You got to have that some better, production out of the backfield because C.J. Stroud, a rookie quarterback, yes, he didn't throw an interception yesterday. He threw the ball 47 times, but that's not sustainable. You can't have your quarterback throw for almost 50 passes a game and expect the team to win. You got to have something on the ground. And Dameon Pierce, I don't want to blame him too much right now because, like I said, only one Texans offensive lineman was supposed to start at the beginning of the year. That's Shaq Mason. So, obviously, he's not getting the holes he would have if the Texans offensive line was healthy, but I still need more out of the run game. I need Bobby Slowick to figure it out, be creative. You're from the Shanahan tree. What he does, what Mike McDaniel does in Miami, you got to bring some of that juice. You got to bring some of that creativity into the run game because the Texans, they desperately need it. That's all for today's show. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, go follow me on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. Right now, I'm giving you Texans content 24/7. Thank you all for watching today's video. And as always, go Texans.